Afternoon class, Eric Hilliard here. I'm here to talk to you guys a little bit today about aircraft electrical systems and how gates are incorporated into them to allow the various circuits to operate different systems in the aircraft. So before we dive into the digital integrated circuits and how they're used in aircraft electrical systems, I just have a humorous picture here of a pilot depicted as flying an airplane by the seat of their pants. Prior to this and even analog gauges, pilots basically were stuck at feel and what they could actually see throughout the flight with their own eyes. Unlike today, where we have digital circuitry that allows them to basically reference everything off of gauges or screens. So just talking a little bit about analog, I wanted to show you guys here some analog gauges that use some circuitry that's not as precise or as advanced as what we're going to be discussing here in the next few slides. As you can see, it's a lot of dials and needles, unlike more advanced aircraft today that basically have screens that can essentially tell you everything about the airplane in one panel. What you guys are seeing here is a picture of a digital circuit, basically something that's used in more advanced aircraft. And to quote Crane, digital electronics is basically something that's gaining popularity and is becoming more practical because of integrated circuits. These circuits are able to house thousands of gates, which allow for thousands of different input and outputs to the essential systems throughout the aircraft electrical system. So what you guys are seeing here are some examples of various gates that you would be looking at if you were looking at a wiring diagram. These gates basically consist of transistors and diodes, and they're capable of performing special functions as needed throughout the various systems operated by the aircraft electrical system. So here's an aircraft schematic that has a couple of pictures of the gates that are used. One in here that you're probably seeing quite a lot depicted by all of these various triangles is known as a buffer gate. This one is used to isolate circuits from one another, but there are, like I said, several others that can be used. Another type of gate that might be used is known as an AND gate. Crane makes reference of this in his book. Basically, an AND gate acts in the same way as two or more switches connected in series. And a high signal can only appear on the output side when every one of the inputs is high. So, for example, in like landing gear indication, when all the gears are up and locked, all those inputs are sending a high signal to the from the input to the output, which will then give you your gear up and locked indication. So what you have here is a pretty basic breakdown of a Boeing 787 electrical overview. I just wanted to stress to you guys, have you guys see what all the various systems are that depend upon the aircraft electrical system. And with the use of gates, it allows for many different types of special functions so that every system can continue to run as needed. So digital integrated circuits, pretty confusing stuff, but at the same time, basically what you need to get from it is that through the uses of gates, there are many different special functions that can be performed. Like I mentioned, landing gear indication system is just one of them. Avionics is another one. Huge user of these gates because of the various needs of the avionics system between radio and navigation. So I hope you guys learned a little something. I know I did.